This is a continuation of our last video where we spent 2 days making our way down the Intercoastal Waterway.
Third day of this trip, up at 5. Woke up with a pretty bad headache this morning. We eat something and then maybe take some ibuprofen or Tylenol. And hopefully that helps and this doesn't turn into a migraine.
We've been asked if we would be open to doing ocean hops instead of the ICW. Yes, of course. We just didn't feel comfortable going around Cape Hatteras with our level of experience. But once we're more south, we plan on doing ocean hops the rest of the way down.
On the road again. I could wait to be on the road again. It's okay, just another 10-hour adventure here. Then we'll be in Belhaven for Thanksgiving with a bunch of friends, and that'll be nice. But we're moving, we're getting south. It's getting too cold up here. I think it's supposed to be like 30 to 40 degrees next week. Oof. Just too cold.
We actually prefer being out on the ocean compared to being in the ICW, but there are some plus sides and negative sides to both. On the ocean, you can make up for more time, but you're more exposed to the elements, you have to take longer trips, and it can be hard if you're prone to seasickness, which both of us are. In the ICW, you're much more protected, so you can get things done like cleaning on the boat or working on your laptop, but you move so much more slowly. It takes way longer, and most people motor instead of using their sails, so it can be much more expensive. First thing we're doing today is going through the Alligator River Bridge. We took off at sunrise and 2 other boats from our anchorage had the same idea, which worked out perfectly so we could all go through together. We were a little slower than the other boats, but the bridge operator worked it out so all 3 of us could get through. This is the only bridge we've been through so far that's asked for our Coast Guard registration number, but we've been through here before, so we knew it was coming and we were ready. Really quickly, I wanted to tell you all that we're having a holiday sale for our merch store. You can use code HOLIDAY10 for 10% off your order. There will be a link in the description. Happy holidays.
Last bridge done!
Last bridge. That's one we have to open for a minute.
Yeah. Not last bridge ever. The last bridge that we have to
For
call.
this journey to Belhaven.
Woo!
I wish we weren't going directly into the wind, but... We were sitting out here and I noticed how dirty our ceiling is. So we're just gonna give it a little wipe down as we just motor it along.
Do not remember those days at all. But I will never be here if it wasn't true.
It's just kind of like a gloomy, slow motoring day. And that's okay, that happens sometimes. It's like not always the most fun, but I'm excited to get to Belhaven and do some Friendsgiving and see people. I do think there's like more heavy weather coming, so we're gonna have to try to figure out like where we can wipe that out. I wish there was a little more sunlight. If we were going like any other direction, we'd have such a nice day of sailing. It's been like 15 to 20 knots of wind all day long. We'd be flying. But all day we've just been going kind of straight into the wind through canals where you like don't really have a lot of wiggle room to go on or off the wind. So it's like cool, we're just gonna motor our rectangle straight the direction we need to go until we get there.
Alright, we are currently underway, but I'm gonna make us some lunch because I am getting to the point where I'm hangry, trying to be out there on watch. So Patrick took over. I'm gonna make us some food.
You are like gold dust over me, just like an angel setting me free. Where are you now? Do you feel safe? I don't need an answer, just need some space.
Sorry, this is all wonky and tilted. I can't get the camera camera to cooperate right now. Lunch. Kind of a big lunch, but we haven't really eaten today, and we're both really hungry. So we got tuna sandwich, cheese, salami, apples, carrots, crackers, and then leftover tuna, which I gave Patrick's plate more because he's bigger on protein. But we were out of bread, so half a tuna sandwich and then some crackers. This apple, I think it's Honeycrisp. Oh, good.
Now that's a sail time lunch.
It's a feast.
It really is. This looks great.
Isn't that a good apple?
I had a carrot.
Oh.
I had a good carrot though.
Try the apple.
Tastes like fall.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, thank you, Love. It's nice when it's kind of flat enough to go make some food. You want me to say it?
I just thought it was funny. Patrick just came up with a new saying for us.
Short and stout, just like our crowd. My hair's so crazy.
You say that and it always looks the same. I don't understand.
Sometimes I get like these flyaways that are like this, and I feel like I'm some kind of nutty professor.
Laughing at myself because we're going through the Alligator River Canal, and it's my watch, so Patrick's inside getting some work done, and it's just funny because I pictured this being so much tighter feeling than it is, and I think it's because at the time it was kind of tight in the scope of things, but now that we've like been through the Dismal Swamp and stuff, like this is so roomy that I'm just like, I can't believe how much smaller this felt in my brain. Alright, I'm about an hour and a half into my watch. I can finally no longer see the beginning of the canal, which is kind of nice. And we've been going like 4.8 knots when we're going fast. When the wind hits us like dead on, we're getting like 18 knot gusts. So then we're slowing down to like 4.5 or lower. And that's been kind of a bummer, but mostly I've been going like 4.7, 4.8, so not too bad. Hopefully we'll get there like when right before full darkness today.
With your hand on your heart, please tell me which way to go, 'cause I sure don't know. One piece in hand, it's a start, but it's unlikely.
We ended up running into some rain, but thankfully no lightning. We were already dealing with 18 knot gusts of wind, and that didn't get any worse, so it really wasn't too bad. We made it to Belhaven before sunset and anchored up. It was so exciting to anchor here because we have a bunch of friends in the same anchorage that we get to spend Thanksgiving with. Huge shout out to Brett and Marisa for organizing everyone arriving in Belhaven at the same time for the holiday.
So I take my love and hide it away from those who steal till I find my way. How will I call? How will I call?
It's horrifying out here.
It's like a horror movie. It's like a quiet town. Like, look at that. Look at that street over there. Oh man, you know there's trouble going that way.
There's zombies that way for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to get in the water.
What are we gonna do? Sleep on the ground?
I'm scared. It's so foggy, dude. Into the abyss. Let's see if we can find our boat.
So creepy.
It's so foggy out here tonight.
Oh,
You can hardly see the anchor lights even.
That's an anchor
the
light.
abyss.
It looks like scary eyes on my camera. I'm frightened.
So we finally met up with a guy named Trout, who I think we've been sharing anchorages with since we were on our way up in Charleston. But we just never really synced. But now that we're in Belhaven, we finally got the chance to hang out with him. And he was so kind to offer to help tune our rigging, because some of it's really good, and then some of it's a little loose. So it's kind of like we should probably just do it all. But there's a lot of cotter pins to take out, so I'm gonna try to knock some of that out. Is my hair all crazy? A little bit. It's always crazy. Before he gets here. Here we have the man, the myth, the legend. It's Trout.
What's percolating? Just loosening everything up.
So yeah, so I guess first we loosen it all, then we hand tighten it, and then we tune tighten it. And some of these guys are like, some of these were really loose. We haven't even done that one yet. And it's just shaking all over the place. So, taking care of a boat, learning how to take care of a boat.
We wanted to say a big thank you to Trout for coming over and teaching Patrick about tuning the rigging. He is a super awesome and helpful guy. We'll link his channel in the description if you want to go check him out. His content is a bit different from ours. He's a risk taker and he really takes life as it comes.
Okay, everything is loosened now.
Everything's loosened up. So now we're gonna start with the lowers, get the mast in line, and then we'll go to the uppers, get the top in line, and then we'll go to forward and back to get the rake right.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll tighten them all down to even tension, and then we'll start tuning it from there.
Yeah. You really sound like you know what you're doing. It gives me so much faith in you.
I've had to tune way too many rigs.
What's another one? Do this.
So once that hits the black line, you gotta keep this off the wire, because if it's on the wire, it'll drag.
Yeah.
So it's off the wire. Black line, we're looking at 31. You go to your size chart. Basically, whatever size your wire is, you want to be kind of towards the middle of this chart. And then, so
Okay.
if this one's at 31, we want to tune
That one to
the opposite one to
the 31. Gotcha.
That was just off the feel. That's pretty close. It's 32.
Nice.
So we'll give that one a half turn more.
My man.
Yeah, lefty tighty, righty loosey.
Okay, so that feels like, yeah, like 36, maybe 36 and a half.
Cool. So now you want to go up to right here and spot up the mast.
Just look and see what it looks like.
Yeah. See if you got a bend in that track or. And you're only looking to those lower to your first spreader.
Yeah, I think that.
Brett and Marisa are hauled out here, so we all came by to visit them in the yard.
Brett!
Jeez. Chipping quicker, you think? Or is sanding quicker?
I think you would just go through a lot of the...
Capers.
Oh, I found that good one right here.
We went over to Brett and Marissa's boat as they hauled out and are dealing with some blistering. But all of our rigging is pretty good now, which is awesome. Thank you, Trout. But Trout also has a Sailrite sewing machine. So I don't think we've showed this yet, but when we got that 55 knot gust, it blew the plastic right out of our Dodger, I guess you'd call it. Like this has been ripped for a while, and then this just ripped right out. So, kind of looking to fix that, and he has a Sailrite sewing machine, and he was like, if you can just bring it over in the morning, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So everybody's kind of getting together at this apartment. But yeah, he's like, if you can bring it over in the morning, we could probably knock it out super quick. So I'm taking this off for the first time, which I think should be pretty simple. But yeah, it's gonna be weird because we've never taken it off before. But I'd like it to not be ripped, especially as we're going out into the ocean and stuff. And also just like the wind is just gonna rip it more and more, and then we're just not gonna have one. So I'm like, I wanna prioritize this.
When I was young, I thought control would lead me to an ending road, and heavy metal seemed to be the only thing that was for me. And I saw the angels coming down, and they sang a song, they sang it loud, and I still remember parts of it.
Now that looks crazy. It's like a whole different look. Okay, morning here. So, waiting for trout. I mean, it's only like 6 in the morning. But I saw a little rain on the forecast, so I put up a tarp to try to keep our cockpit a little dry. It's not even really supposed to rain a lot, but because of the fact that we have this full enclosure, we keep a lot of stuff in this cockpit. This is just like not gonna be great if it gets even a little bit, not a little bit wet, it can be a little bit wet, but if it's just gonna get damp from the rain, it's kind of like, eh. So we'll just toss the tarp up. Should be good enough. I mean, like a tarp doing most of the job has to be as good as our enclosure that has giant holes in it. So hopefully we can just knock it out this morning. I spent a bunch of time last night pulling the old thread out. But we should be good to go. Should just be like 4 quick lines. And then boom, we should have a Dodger again. Okay, so that was a bit of a fiasco. So Trout brought his sewing machine over here. We plugged it in, we popped a fuse on the sewing machine. So we couldn't do that, but we only discovered that after we took the sewing machine back to his boat and used his inverter, and then I realized, ah, shoot. So we were on a sewing machine. Luckily our friends Charlie and Kayleigh, who are like also anchored over there, have a sewing machine, the same Sailboat. So took it over to them. Yeah, we were able to sew it up. I mean, Kayleigh did a great job. We'll kind of have to see how everything fits, because I feel like this thing was done kind of like to spec. So hopefully as long as there's like just enough flex in things, I think we'll be okay. But I start just trying to get it together and then see what we can really do.
Having a good Thanksgiving. I'm gonna zoom into here. Oh, you can see Brett. Oh, you can see you, Charlie.
We ended up renting an apartment for Thanksgiving and doing a potluck together. I wish there was more footage of everyone together, but it was so amazing to see everyone and make some new friends. Patrick even had the chance to sit down and do a podcast episode with Jerome from Sailing Oblivion while I was visiting with my family. If you want to go check that out, I will link it down below.
It's for you, kitty.
Goodbye!
Goodbye. Happy Thanksgiving.
He liked it.
No, you know, I was in the Thanksgiving spirit. We tossed a little barbecue chicken for the homies.
We just had such a lovely Thanksgiving dinner. I'm so glad we made it to Belhaven in time to see everybody and meet up and yeah, just make some new friends, and I don't know. I'm just in a good spirit. This was a good decision, although I'm freezing and I'm so excited to get south.